anything or thinking about any of Andrew's products over the past 2 weeks as he's been here, the special pricing will end tonight at midnight. So if you put something in your cart but you didn't follow through, or you've had something that you've been thinking about, maybe it's acetyl L-carnitine or omega-3, those final few hours are upon us for you to take advantage of his 22nd anniversary pricing, which, as I'm sure you've seen tonight, has been really magnificent. Again, more questions coming on through. I did see a lot of you saying that you love and appreciate Andrew's honesty and his taking the time to really make sure things are perfect. Well, making things perfect for maximum benefits, glucosamine, chondroitin, always a big, not only highly praised item, but a lot of people will never ever be without this. When my mom came over and she was complaining, I told her to take some of this home with her to England, and she loves it.
And glucosamine chondroitin, it's one of those ingredients that it has to be done correctly,
right,
or you're wasting your time. And unfortunately, the source of glucosamine that's done correctly is something called glucosamine sulfate. And of course, I have the scientific charts here that say the sulfate is a critical part of the glucosamine sulfate molecule. That sulfate moiety, that sulfate entity is vital. Yet, if you look at most of the glucosamine products on the market today, they use something called glucosamine hydrochloride. And glucosamine hydrochloride, unfortunately, is less active, not beneficial, and it's unfortunately the much cheaper choice. So companies take advantage of the fact that most consumers will see glucosamine and they won't bother to look for the sulfate or the HCl. They just see the glucosamine, right, and they assume that the company has sufficient integrity and ethics to give them the proper form of glucosamine. But in most cases, the answer is no. It's not glucosamine sulfate, it's glucosamine hydrochloride. The sulfate component, even for our pets, the sulfate component, I've heard people talk about with dogs or things, it's the hydrochloride that's better. Not the case. The original research on glucosamine chondroitin involved animals, and it's glucosamine sulfate that is the best choice. And again, you could empty one of our capsules, as I do, in Lincoln's food every day, but what we'll have probably it'll probably take us 6 months or so, but we'll eventually have a glucosamine product that you'll be able to sprinkle, open a little packet, and sprinkle it on your cat's or your dog's food.
Joanne wants to know, is the Green Foods complex a fiber?
I wouldn't view it as a fiber source. Okay. Of course there is fiber in it, but I wouldn't view it as a fiber source. What it really is a phytonutrient source. The phytochemicals, the beneficial compounds that are found in all those green foods, including the chlorophyll, that's the key to enjoying the benefits of that product. It's really not a fiber product. A fiber product is our fiber mucil. That product is pretty much exclusively fiber. And that product is also a very unique mix of water-soluble fiber and bulk fiber. So I look at our fiber mucil product as being the perfect fiber, perfectly balanced fiber product you could take.
7,000 spoken for over the weekend. We have fewer now than 1,000 in all the different sizing, which is fabulous. Please know that all of these products that you purchase from Andrew, these aren't sat on a shelf somewhere for months and months and months. You make these as we go.
We make everything in preparation for a visit. That's why we're down to a few hundred of each size. If we do things well, we run out of everything before a visit, and then we have subsequent shipments scheduled to go out. So that's why there'll also sometimes be brief periods of time where you'll see things on wait list where you'll place your order and it might just take an extra week or two for you to get the product, but the product is always fresh. One thing I wanted to also talk about with glucosamine chondroitin, a lot of typical products come with complaints of stomach upset, and that's because the typical form of glucosamine is glucosamine hydrochloride. Hydrochloride meaning HCl, meaning hydrochloric acid, so it could be irritating to our stomachs, especially when they're in the form of tablets. Again, all of my products are powders and capsules. We don't take the powders we get and then turn them into rocks. We keep them as ultrafine powders, as you can see there, and that's why with all of my products, you can be confident not only that it won't upset your stomach, but it's going to go into solution and it'll be readily absorbable, which is the key to getting benefits. Unfortunately, if something doesn't go into solution in time, it can't be absorbed. Unless it dissolves, it can't be absorbed.
As we head on over to our next one, I think this is item number, how many have we done so far, Steve? Do we know the count? How many different? He's going to get us too many to count.
No, we've been running through a lot of questions and
really
a lot of products, which is great.
But we're achieving a lot, which I love. And Joanne's asking, and many people have asked